on YouTube. And there we are, Zulma Gonzalez. This mic is all yours.
A thankful Thursday, family. I am so glad to be here. I am canceling doctor's appointments to be here. Shh, don't tell her. I'm going to change my appointment. It seemed like there were just so many things happening, too much going on, too much going on in this past week, and everything, appointments on top of things on top of other things, and like wait. Too much. Slow it down. Slow it down. Um, I needed time. I needed time for my baby boy, especially since there were thunderstorms and he doesn't particularly care for thunder. Um, he thinks that that's a good time to do the shake. But this pillow has been the answer, just so you know. They do sell these things called thunder shirts. I don't have one. I mean, he doesn't have one. But as long as I'm home, this pillow is just as good. I put it against him and I put myself against it, and the shakes just go away. I was asked to work yesterday. I worked an 11 hour. I have the funny, it's funny but not funny story. So I was asked to work 11 hours yesterday um, for a lady who is bedridden, very particular, and fussy. It's okay to be particular. I don't have a problem with particularity in that regard. But she's fussy, and um, and as much hi share. Uh, um, And let me say good morning to everybody. Dove and Mickey and Lynn and Sharon and Robert, Mr. Dino James, um, and Sally and Regis, my brother. Uh, Glad that you are all here. Glad that you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Um, you'll get to walk me through this today. Um, so anyway, so I was taking a break. I went in the kitchen to watch a soap opera as a result of working with my regular clients, my Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday people who he is right now in a physical rehabilitation center. And so I haven't seen him since the end of May. Uh, so as a result of being there every day and them having ABC on all day long, I have become a General Hospital fan. The soap opera, yes, the soap opera. After all these years, I'm watching soap opera. So anyway, I took a break. I was in the kitchen, air conditioners on, television's on. I did not have my hearing aids in, and I don't now either. But I heard you loud and clear, Lynn. Um, and I drifted off to sleep. I mean, a deep, deep sleep. And all of a sudden, I hear this scream, "Help!" Not a yelling, not a scream. "Help! Help!" I open my eyes. I'm disoriented, trying to figure out where am I? Right? I see the television set. Where am I? How do I get out of this room? Who's screaming? I run in the living room because I'm thinking she fell, but she didn't because the way her bed is set up, and she couldn't have anyway. And I said, "Are you all right?" She says, "I've been calling," and now she's angry. "I've been calling you and calling you." Well, I could do was apologize. I said, "I fell asleep." I said, "I didn't see what happened, what was happening on television, missed it, just drifted on away." Um, because the day before Tuesday morning, I had to have a test done at the hospital, which required that I be up at 8 at night for at least an hour, and again at 1 in the morning for at least an hour. And what that involved had me up for yet another hour. So it was 3 o'clock in the morning before I finally laid down. And I had to be at the hospital by 7:30 Tuesday. And I didn't get a nap the rest of Tuesday. So yesterday, the moment of truth for me to really go into deep sleep happened while I was at work. So she says to me, "Go in there, turn that television off." And I mean, she's yelling at me like she's like that mother thing before the forgiveness part. and and I'm looking at her reminding myself, this isn't mom, this isn't then, this is old, this is gone. She has a right. I'm supposed to be, and up to this point, I've always been, she's requested me to come work with her. Um, Always on top of it. Turn that television off and turn the air conditioner. Is the air conditioner still on? Yes, ma'am. Turn that off too. Pull the plug out of the wall. So I come back, I sit down next to her, and then she gets this look and she says, I thought you had left and didn't let me know. I felt this because she's 24-hour care. But the whole thing, that me being the way when I woke up and I'm all disoriented, it was absolutely insane. Hilarious. I picture it as an onlooker. It would have been a funny. It was funny to me. It really was funny to me. Um. Anyway, anyway, all that being said, I had gone back and was looking at um slides from when we first started doing this, and that was in September of 2024. And even though I came across stuff that I would like to share today, but I was given a different idea. On Sunday, I had the privilege of being the speaker at the Center of Peace, the Center for Spiritual Living that I attend. And my topic was, well, the theme for the year is a day at a time, oneness, and the theme for the month of July is surrender. So I was coming from a place of surrender. And every Thursday morning, I have a prayer group, a group of us prayer on Thursdays. And one of um, my friend Barbara, who was there, who's also an ACIM student, uh, she and I co-facilitated the first study group at the Center of Peace back in 2014. Yeah, I think it was back in 2014. A group that still continues to this day. Anyway, in two parts now, because I do a Monday during the day in person, and then Thursday evening I co-facilitate online, and some of the same people are in that group. Anyhow, um, Barbara suggested that she particularly liked what happened on Sunday, and said it was a great place to a great topic to share. So, um, at Barbara's suggestion, that's what I'm going to do. Um, Slides, well, I don't know about that so much, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I didn't really do too much in the way, I didn't do anything in the way of slides. So let's start with our um as we always do. Um, First of all, um, with our reminders that the reason why the reason why we're here is because, oh, slide's not coming up. What's happening? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We are talking A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical teachings. And we are reminded that it is that Dr. Ernest Holmes reminds us that we should, everything that we do and everything that we say and everything that we think should be from spirit, to see spirit in everything, to see the God in everything. Um, the PowerPoint presentation is not coming up. I can't make it come up for reasons that I can't even begin to tell you. So let's see. We'll do it this way. Um, the date on this is not today. So let's just get the basic stuff out of the way. We're talking A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical teachings. We are reminded um, that to learn how to think is to learn how to live, to remember that this is a course in mind training. This is a course in mind training. Um, because an untrained mind accomplishes nothing. And that when we can master thought, we master life. So, key to me is that we are life. Let's see if I can. How about if I share? How about if I don't share? Let me just talk for now. I don't want to deal with all this technology today. I am, I've been moving just from one moment to another. Normally, my phone alarm goes off at 9:12 to let me know that it's time for me to, come in here. Usually around 9:15-ish, I'm here. I don't know if it was because I was in the kitchen and didn't hear the phone. No, I don't have my hearing aids in. Um, uh, or if it just didn't go off. I don't know. All I know is that when I came in here and looked at the phone, it said 9:17 already. I'm like, wait, no, wait. Um, but here I am. Nevertheless, the course reminds us that every response we make is determined by what we think we are. And what we want to be is what we think we are. And that's because if I'm thinking it in the moment, I am it. I am it. So then what I want to be, what you want to be, what we want to be must determine every response we make. So if I'm saying that I want to be here at 9:15, then I have to make sure I set the alarm, just something tangible, simple, you know. Um, and not to set the alarm is not, it's planning not to accomplish what I say I'm going to accomplish. What I want to be, it must determine every response I make. In the case of real life, if I'm recognizing that I am spirit, then every response I make is in that direction. It's me seeing the divine in others. It's me recognizing the divine in myself. It's recognizing that everything that I see comes to pass, that I'm not the victim of the world I see, that it's all God. And how can I fail? It can't fail because it's all God. Michael Bernard Beckwith wrote that you are the life of God for you, me, we are the life of God fulfilling itself. Hmm. You are the life of God fulfilling itself. The Course reminds us to let go of all past learning, to remember nothing that we've taught ourselves, because who would keep a senseless lesson in their mind when we can learn and preserve a better one? We're asked to, okay, so let me go into um, what happened um, on Sunday. And again, this is not something I sat around and quote, quote, practiced or rehearsed, and I never do. I never do. But it was only this morning that I was talking to Barbara that she made the suggestion. And I said, okay, because it's interesting how this brain works, the accepting divine healing daily brain works. You know, that stands for ADHD. My accepting divine healing daily brain works. I lay down, or Wednesday evening, I'm giving thought to so many things because along with this today, I have to have 5 different readings um, prepared to turn in for the month of August because I chose the month of August. At the Center of Peace, um, we the practitioners each take a month, um, and we provide the readings based on whatever the topic is for that month. I chose August. It's supposed to be in by the end of this week. So as I'm looking for readings based on that topic, I'm also thinking about being here today. Is it something that I can use in conjunction with And it is, of course it is, because we're talking just one. It's just one. And that's the thing I can't say over and over again. It's just all one. But to thinking about, what can I incorporate? Should I incorporate? Just too much. The ego thought system starts to get in the way. As I'm saying this right now, I'm hearing it. The ego thought system gets in the way. And then I lay down Wednesday night to go to sleep, if you want to call it that. Um, and there's just so much going on at one shot. I'm waking up, I'm going to sleep, I'm waking up, and this topic comes to me. Oh, yeah. And then that's gone. No, then this topic. And I almost hate to admit it. This is what happens to me every week. Every week. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Not the having to turn in um, different readings, but as far as topics, I don't plan. It comes to me usually in the middle of the night, Wednesday into Thursday, sometimes not until Thursday morning. And then I have a ball putting slides together based on what comes. So, um, um, so the topic on Sunday, the topic was Sunday, was surrender. And I talked about the fact, I started out by saying that as I'm talking about surrender, which can be a paradox, could be contradictory, I want you to bear in mind that in no way am I talking about defeat. Surrender is not defeat. And I was surprised that the word surrender in the course, let's see, um, the word surrender does not appear at all in the course, not in the textbook, not in the workbook, not in the um, manual for teachers, not in the psychotherapy pamphlet, not in the Song of Prayer. It simply does not appear. It ain't there. I was surprised to find that. Um, it's just not there. So anyway, um, I have too many screens in front of me. Things are happening. I have two screens and I can't see you right now. Um, I can't see me. All right, there I am. Um, so anyway, uh, the word surrender does not appear at all in the course. And and there are different things that mean that. Um, but the word itself, FYI, does not appear, not even once, in A Course in Miracles. So, but again, so when we talk about surrender, we're not talking about giving up anything. Um, we're talking about the process of being in divine alignment, the process of being in divine alignment with the Creator, with the creation, and with all that is in divine alignment. It's like swimming, in the river, uh, near the falls where it's going to fall, and the fall is going this way, but you're trying to swim that way, and the struggle that's involved in trying to do that. No, 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 no. We're talking about it's easy. What we resist persists. So it's more and more trouble. It's more and more painful. It's more and more just conflama, which is a combination of confusion and drama. More conflama. No, easier to go with the flow as life keeps moving forward. It's to just accept it. Oh, I don't like this, but I accept it. I don't like this, but I accept it. I don't like this, but I accept it. It makes it easier. A lady that I know who's been having major sciatic pain. Um, hasn't been able to work. Uh, I don't know if she's on her back, on her side, whatever. I remember, I know what that feels like, and I had the experience. And as much as she doesn't want to talk about it, she keeps talking about it, and I understand, pain, pain. Um, but yesterday, I found myself. I sent her a text message, and I said to her, um, that she's being given time to rest from her labor, from her work, all that driving that she does, and that she has time to just be, to get in touch with the essence of who she is. And she's a Course in Miracles student as well. Um, Less than a year, but she was open. She was and she is open. And to hear, to see, to the transformation in this lady in such, I'm gonna say, a short period of time, um, it's phenomenal. When you're ready, to hear, it's written in the Bible, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. When you're ready to hear it, you hear it. When you're ready to see it the way it is, the Course teaches the tolerance for pain may be high, but it's not without limit. Eventually you reach a place where there must be a better way. And for her, she came to the Course, and I remember when I would say something, or she would read something, and she would just look, her eyes would squint up like, what in the world is it saying? And now she'll read something, or we'll read something, or I'll say something, we'll say something, and she lights up like a light bulb. It's just amazing to see the difference. Um, and she's so open. So anyway, so I said to her, um, I had suggested to her something I had heard, to talk to the physical pain. Because first of all, I want, it's for her to recognize, not I want, it's for her to recognize that she is not her body. She is not her pain, so that she can begin to separate that. But this is how it was coming to me. I was just texting. I've never sent a text like this before. It says, talk to your physical pain. Talk to the physical pain your body is experiencing. Let it know that you appreciate it, and ask it what it wants you to learn. Because as we know, all things are lessons that God would have us learn. All things are lessons that life would have us learn. I want to say, let the pain know that you're not going to resist it. And that's where I wrote, what you resist persists. And that's what I was thinking about when what made me pull up this text. Um, trying to fight it, and trying to fight it. It's like this thing with my knee, where the puppy got a hold of me back on May 29th. My skin keloids, which means that it raises. It doesn't smooth out and heal smoothly. Let me see. Can't. Anyway, I have a couple of scars here and there where the skin is raised. So people, what's that? Anyhow, um, uh, but my knee in three places, because he got a hold of me, and where he got a hold of me good. So there's three bruises, and one has the hole in it where he actually went down deep, and it's still hurting. Like, it still hurts. It still hurts. Sometimes it gets numb. The whole upper thigh gets numb. I am seriously thinking about calling a doctor about that, um, because it's. But as I was yesterday morning, I had decided, I'm trying to I'm trying to tell myself that this thing needs to stop hurting, and it's really getting on my nerves, and this, that, and the other. So it was the message that Spirit gave me that I ended up sharing with her. There he is. I saw you. I saw you, brother. um, so anyway, I said, let the pain know that you are not going to resist it. And I said, thank the pain for showing up, and give it permission to go. Thanks for coming. Don't overstay your welcome. You're welcome to leave. Um, and then I just said, to the best of your ability, accept the pain, not but don't engage with it. And that's what I've been talking to myself and my knee about. The same thing. Don't engage with the pain. life happens. It's written in the Bible that in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. Be of good cheer because we're not this body. Thank you for that not happening, that it is not my body. So we're talking about being in divine alignment with the Creator and with the creation and with all that is. And then from the Declaration of Beliefs from Dr. Ernest Holmes, I only see two names here. One name here I don't recognize. It hasn't been here before. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, Religious Science. But he wrote, I believe the goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Now, when I first, second, third, fifth, 20th time I read that, I said, I don't believe that. But then when I really looked at it last week, that the goal of life, not necessarily the goal, and we are life, I know that, but I'm saying life, the goal of God is to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature. And that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Well, isn't that what the Course teaches us, that as we all become aware, as we all, each part of the sonship, that it's all of us together. This goal is sure to be attained by all. Let me speak to that one by itself. Um, so I was saying that from the sense of that we're not talking about giving up something, because that if we're talking about surrender, because that's sacrifice and loss. I'm talking about giving in to something, giving in to the inclusion, to the extension. I feel crooked. I don't know here. I'm looking at myself and I feel crooked, or I look crooked. I'm not crooked, but I feel crooked. Anyway, I don't know if it's the screen, and I look like I look like I should be sitting like this. That's the ego hard at work. Let it go. Um, Reverend Dr. Ron Fox, who is the author of the daily readings in the Science of Mind magazine this month, he wrote that in reality, surrender means going with the flow of life. It is living in and accepting the present moment. It is letting go of resistance to what is. Now, the declaration by Ernest Holmes to me means that the purpose of life is to be free of everything that we believe, keyword, that we believe is hindering us from the highest and best that we already are. We're already that, because we're reminded in his first declaration that this one spirit, that God, the living spirit almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existing cause, that one spirit manifests itself in and through all creation, which of course includes us. This means that through our own self-determination, we surrender from the belief that we're hindered. And again, it's a belief. There's no way that we can, in truth, be hindered, because we have been given everything and we are everything. And I'm not talking about this body. I'm talking about spirit, the essence of what we are. It's everything. It's everything. I shared a story of the fact that I used to be a 3-pack a day nicotine user. I used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Yeah, 3. I saw that. Wow. Sure, I saw that. Yes. I my life consisted of, before I opened my eyes, as soon as there was awareness that I was awake, physically awake, I would reach for the pack of cigarettes, and wouldn't necessarily open my eyes unless I didn't feel it, because then I have to see where is it? It was my idol. It was my God. Oh, and or so I thought. Um, but of course, lets us know that it'll fail. It will fail. So I used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, and I remember, well, IVs, hospital, oxygen, that thing happened after the first 22 years of dedication and devotion and love, I thought, for nicotine. um I decided I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to give up. I'm going to give not smoking a try. I spent 4 days in the hospital, which was the first 4 days I had not smoked from the time I was 12 years old. And I started counting days. And there were moments when it felt like I was going to die. Oh my God, this overwhelming feeling would come over me. But I had made a decision. I had made a decision that at least that I was going to count days of not using nicotine. And the feeling would come. And before I even found Nicotine Anonymous, which I did, before I found Nicotine Anonymous, I had already decided that, all right, I can get past this. I felt this, I felt this crazily yesterday too, and I got past it and I didn't smoke. So I'm going to try it again today. So I started surrendering, not to what I was giving up, but surrendering. I was giving in to my freedom, one day at a time. The money that I had been spending, I saved it. I literally was putting the money away because I was still mentally obsessed, crazily obsessed with the whole cigarette thing. I was buying books and but I'm known to do that. When something get grabs me, I want to know all there is about it, as much as I can about it. I want to know. I submerge myself. I was buying books, I was reading articles, I was writing poetry. I wrote a poem. I wonder if I can get my hands on that. I wrote a poem. Um, well, I was writing quite a bit of poetry actually. Uh, I was so obsessed I couldn't get my mind off of it, but I had decided that I wasn't going to pick it up. And that's the thing about surrender. We have to The seventh miracle principle is that miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. Now, with the purification, we're releasing, we're letting go. But we're not asked to just let go and that be the end of it. This is where the miracle comes in. We are replacing the junk thinking. We're replacing the belief that we were victims. We're replacing the belief that we are bodies. We're replacing it with the truth that the essence of what we are, thank you, is not this body. Oh, I wouldn't, there'd be, wouldn't, I wouldn't. If this was it, if this was all I had to, if this was all I had to look forward to believe that this is it. I'm grateful for Einstein. If you believe the theory that that it is all energy, that it always was, it always will be, that can't die, was never born, which is how God is defined. That's what they taught me in Catholic school. Always was and always will be. And here comes Einstein and calls it science. And what's happening is that science and quote, quote, religion are merging. They're finally getting it. We can't have one without the other because in truth, there is no separation anyway. But here's something I wrote. It's a love poem. If you don't mind, I'm going to share. Deceptively, you stayed by me whenever I thought I needed you. You were there. filling me with all you had to offer, but destroying me all the while. You would give me a rush. Oh, precious moments of bliss, such blissful moments, but always so temporary. You were there for years. You were there whenever I reached for you, always making yourself available to me. You penetrated me, took my very breath away, left me weak for you, leaving me wanting you, needing you. Yes, you were always there, day in and day out, disguising yourself as my most intimate friend. So refreshing, so satisfying. I became addicted to you, dependent upon you. You became my worst habit. And though many often warned me that you only wanted to hurt me, I never listened. I couldn't listen, for I loved you oh so much. But one day at last, I found the strength and finally let you go, and you didn't even care. So I never want you back, my former friend, my former love, my former cigarette. Can't share. She thought I was getting in here and getting ready to do porn. No, this was not to a man. See it in your face, love. Thank you. Yeah, but that was the relationship, the relationship that I had. It was, it was a love affair. It was truly a love affair. I imagine, and for those of you who smoked or used to smoke, hopefully don't smoke anymore. But imagine if you're with your partner, you have intimate relations and all that wonderfulness. For some, instead of the cuddling and falling asleep wonderfully in their arms, you get up and you go get a cigarette. You, right? We walk away from our loved ones to go out. Those who go outside to smoke a cigarette. That relationship, uh-uh. So through our own self-determination, we surrender from this belief that we're hindered. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote that you cannot heal of your troubles if it is the result of some mental attitude which you will not surrender. So I didn't give up. It wasn't that I gave up nicotine. I didn't lose anything. I wasn't lacking anything. I gave in to my freedom from nicotine. Hi, my Karen. Welcome. I surrendered from weakness to willingness. I surrendered from dreaming the impossible dream that I couldn't release it. And I surrendered to knowing that all things are possible in God. Huh. So the second declaration from Dr. Holmes, I believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Now, that close contact is what the Course calls engaging with God. Engaging with God, staying awake, not going into that sleep of forgetfulness, because that sleep of forgetfulness is the unwillingness to remember the goodness, the allness of God. So I was going to work one day. Oh, I'm retired from there. I like saying that. When I was a regular person in the regular in the workforce, serving as a postal employee for 40 years, 2 months and 24 days, but who's counting? Uh, um, I'm driving to work one day, and just as I'm coming over the bridge, and I see my workplace, and I hear this voice that said, "Remember Lot's wife." What? as clearly as you hear me, that's how I heard it. Remember Lot's wife. Now, for those who know the story, the biblical story, um, Lot's wife is the one who was told to leave where she was along with her husband and her daughters. It was the whole Sodom and Gomorrah story, and to not look back. She was asked to surrender from the life she used to live so that she could experience a new life. Now, according to the story, she didn't follow the instructions. She did look back. And because of that, she could no longer move forward. She looked back and could no longer move forward. And the course is always, well, in the 13th chapter, do I have a copy of the course with me right here? I do. I don't want to keep switching screens. In the 13th chapter, The Guiltless World, in section 4, the section called The Function of Time. And you all, those of you who hang in here with me, know that this was the where my revelation came. In The Function of Time, we're reminded that the ego invests heavily in the past, and in the end believes that the past is the only aspect of time that's meaningful. Its emphasis on guilt enables it to ensure its continuity by making the future like the past, and thus avoiding the present. By the notion of paying for the past and the future, the past becomes the determiner of the future, making them continuous without an intervening present. In this case, her past became her future. Her present became her past, and left her in a position where there was no future. So she couldn't, so her physical life ceased to be. Now, I'll say that there's more to that story because it's not written that she died and turned into a pillar of salt. It says that she looked back and became a pillar of salt. And I had written a poem some years ago. I'm not going to read that now, called Salt of the Earth, where I talk about how meaningful her life became. You know what? Maybe I will do it. I have time because what I'm presenting that I did on Sunday was all of 20 minutes. It was all of 20 minutes. And according to the clock, I still have 45. So I have time. I'm going to take my time with this. And anywhere along the way, if anyone has anything, any thoughts, please share, please. So in 2019, I wrote a piece called Salt of the Earth. It was one of those presentations that I was going to do at one of the events that I'm invited to. You know, there's this fundamental Christian group that invites me to their events every year. And here I come. I'm the one that brings passages from the Bible, explaining whatever the topic is that we have at the time. But the Bible, because the Bible is really what the basis for every metaphysical teaching I know, be it the Course, be it Science of Mind, be it the Infinite Way. The Bible's involved. So, but it's given to me to bring the truth as I understand it, reminding that my body doesn't have to die to experience heaven, that the kingdom of heaven is me, that truth is wherever I am, and all that. Anyway, I wound up doing a piece on Mary Magdalene, Queen Magdalene instead. But this was called Salt of the Earth, um, dedicated to Lot's wife, who I'm going to name, during service on Sunday, I was saying she should have a name because in the Bible it's just Lot's wife. I'm going to name her Pillar. Yeah, Pilar, Pilar, Pilar. Um, so here it is, Salt of the Earth. Today's going to be my poetry day. It wasn't a plan, but here it is. One day my husband said to me, if you just put your hand in mine, we're going to leave all our troubles behind. Keep on going, don't look back. I didn't want to hear that. I don't know where this road is gonna lead to. All I know is where I've been and what I've been through. I just didn't listen. And because I didn't listen, I let myself become trapped, stuck in time. I imprisoned myself in a past that didn't even exist. I had plans. I had dreams. I had hopes, wishes, desires. I expected a future with my husband and my daughters. And even though I wanted to be part of a whole new world, I didn't want to leave my home, didn't want to leave what I had. I kept thinking and saying, life shouldn't be this way. I was shooting on life instead of accepting it as it was. I said, I wish it were different, but Wish World is not a real place. And I kept telling my husband, I don't want to go. I couldn't be part of the new world because I kept trying to hold on to the old one. I wanted what was already gone. There was nothing behind me that could move me forward. I could not move forward looking backward. I got caught up in my memories and I acted as though they were the present. I was thinking about what I didn't want to lose. I was living from a place of lack. I didn't realize that nothing in the universe is ever lost because it's written. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. I just didn't realize. God is. There isn't a God was. God always is. Every breath we take is now. I wanted to look back to hold in my memory. I wanted to look back to hold in my memory what already was no more. I didn't realize or believe that holding on to the past really is impossible, and attempting to do so makes it impossible to appreciate the present. I won't go back, can't go back to the way it used to be. The words "it came to pass" occur 727 times in the Bible. The writers continually reminded me that the things of this world all come to pass. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. Although from that day forward, I did not go forward physically, my life was not wasted. You know that ultimately all things do work together for good. In fact, all things are good. It is written, but his wife looked back behind him and she became a pillar of salt. Now, hear this. I did not die as a pillar of salt. I became, that is, I came to be a pillar of salt. I still have my being. I have my being in God. Through Jesus, it is written that he told you to remember me. He kept my memory alive when he said, remember Lot's wife. Luke 17:32. Today, I am, because time keeps my story alive. After Jesus said to remember me, he said, whoever seeks to save his life will lose it. I could not, and you cannot save the past. It isn't there. I serve to remind you to set your affection, your mind on things above and not things on the earth, because the kingdom of God does not come with observation. And that from the Bible is Colossians 3:2 and Luke 17:20. I'm here to tell you that there is no earthly person, place, or thing, be it a relative, an object, a thought, or a feeling, onto which you should hold. No material things, no painful thoughts, no grudges, no body. There is nothing that you've ever done, and there is nothing that has ever been done to you that requires you to hold on to it. You are already forgiven, and it's up to you to accept it. Forgive. It's up to you to give it, and then let it go. By all means necessary, learn to be in the moment, be in the present. It is here where the kingdom of God resides. For indeed, it's written, the kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17, verses 20 and 21. The kingdom of God is always at hand, right here, and that's always right now. You are to continually be renewed in the spirit of your mind, from Ephesians 4:22. I came to be a pillar of salt, and it is written that you are the salt of the earth. Jesus wasn't talking about me. He was talking about you. He said, salt is good. Have salt in yourselves and have peace with one another. No more chains, fears. My past is over. Right now is the moment. Today is the day I've been changed. I won't go back, can't go back to the way it used to be before your presence came and changed me. And so that is. So that was a piece I wrote back in 2019, Salt of the Earth. And it goes right along with this. It goes right along with what I wrote for Sunday. It's written that Jesus said to remember Lot's wife. It's written that he goes on to say that whoever tries to save their life will lose it. That means that if you try to hold on to what was, you can't grab hold of what is, and you'll miss it. Every moment is now, and every moment comes to pass. It doesn't come to stay. It's written that old things pass away. Behold, all things become new. Again, miracle principle number 7. Miracles are everyone's right. And that's always in the present. But purification is necessary first. Old things pass away. All things become new. Course in Miracles teaches. Workbook lesson 187, paragraph 7. Simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. And see, this is key. This is key because we have this idea. We all think we know what God is. Joe Goldsmith says, no, you don't. Mm-mm. The second you try to define God, you don't know what God is. You've lost it because God is undefinable. It's not something you can put in a box. So when you say that something is not of God, you don't know what God is. And in the moment that you're saying that, you're judging whatever that is that you're saying is not of God. So in that moment, if you want to go with that belief system, you're not of God, which is impossible. It's all God. It's all God. So lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world. You know, there's all those things that we were told they should be this way. Oh, that's not right. They shouldn't do that. Don't they realize that they are blah, 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 blah. Lay aside all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false or good or bad, of every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. I mean, we're talking about everything, everything. The course continues, hold on to nothing. You have got to let it go. Let it all go. Do not bring with you one thought, not even one thought that the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. I mean, hold on to nothing. Just come as if you don't know, because you don't know. I don't know. And to say that I do know is to prove that I don't. Because I may think I know something from the past, but then here comes a new moment. I don't know what the next moment is going to. I have no idea of what the next moment is going to bring. I don't know. So the course continues. Forget this world. Everything. Forget this computer, ACIM gather, all these people who I that I love. Forget, you know. And what's my reason? What's my reason? Because my reason for loving, in some cases, is different from your reason for loving. Some might say, oh, because they're so sweet. Oh, because we're of like minds. Oh, because they they uh they compliment me. Oh, because uh I understand the way they communicate. Oh man, I get them because we're on the same page. All that. But what about that person, those people, bodies, those bodies who get on your last nerve, singular, who get on your last nerve? That person, that body, those bodies, that every time you hear their voice, you get a headache. Oh, I can't. Oh, I just can't. I just can't with them. I just can't. What about them? What about those bodies that you say that you believe are doing bad things, awful things, hurtful things? What about them? Do you love them the way you love the ones who embrace you and compliment you and seem to have the same mind that you have? What about them? Forget this world. Forget everything. Forget everything. Forget everything. In the course, it says the course. Forget this course. And come with holy, that is completely empty hands. Let go. Let it go. Let it all go. Let it all go. Let it all go. Let it all go. Come with empty hands unto your God. Now, your God. That's a point of that could be a point of conversation itself, and I'm going to take a minute to do that. This is apart from what I talked about on Sunday. The course teaches, as do all the metaphysical teachings, and even in the Bible, when read aright, that the kingdom of God is you. It's written in the Bible that Jesus said, I and the Father are one. One. I and the Father are one. So if I and the Father are one, if he and the Father are one, and it's written that he said that we are one in one another, then that means that I, Zulma, and the Father are one. That means that I, Sharon, I, Karen, I, iPhone, Dove, Regis, Mickey, Robert, Lynn, Sally, Cher are all one, not separate beings, separate bodies expressing the being, expressing the oneness, expressing the God. So when it's saying, come with holy empty hands unto your God, it's saying, come to yourself. It's written, go into your closet where it's just where you can meditate and contemplate and and recognize that your life is a prayer. Recognize that you are a prayer because you are spirit in a state of grace forever, and that your reality is only spirit. You are that. You are it. I'll come to that. Come unto your God. Come unto yourself and recognize that nothing can compare to you. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote that imitation is suicide. The oak tree can't imitate the willow tree. It can't. It can't. I hate when I hear people say, I'm saying hate, strong word. I don't mean that. When people say, oh, that's a tough act to follow. What? Follow what? What are you talking about? That is that. And this act is this, whatever that is. And I'm saying act, because it makes me expression. I'm not, well, I don't want to go after that person because they and versus I. Now I'm diminishing. If I'm saying that, I'm diminishing me and I'm making an idol of them. The willow tree is not is not diminished by the oak tree because it sways. It's supposed to. The oak tree is not diminished by the willow tree because it's firm. It doesn't, it's just right there. It doesn't. The oak tree doesn't say to the willow, oh, you're so wishy-washy. You can't even be still. What do you have, ADHD? No, the oak tree doesn't just came to me. That's silly. The oak tree doesn't say that to the willow tree. The willow tree doesn't say to the oak, you must have OCD because you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It doesn't happen that way. So forget this world. Forget trying to compare yourself to anything, anyone, anybody. Forget trying to compare yourself to anybody because that body is that body. It's not supposed to be like this body. This body does, and this body is doing what it's supposed to do based on every response I make is determined by what I think I am. What I want to be must determine every response I make. So everything I do is based on what I think I am or who I think I am. Because if I think I'm a body, then, I'm constantly complaining and constantly, whatever. Is that a judgment? Did I just make a judgment? Maybe I did. I accept. Maybe that was a judgment because I just said it's all God, and then I just said the complaining. Complaining is one's way of expressing or venting whatever it is that they're feeling, and better to get it out than to hold it in, because what you hold on to holds on to you. Better to let it out than to hold it in. And if I happen to be the recipient of somebody letting their stuff out toward me, to me, or however they think they're expressing it, it's up to me to prove the patience that I always pray for. It's up to me to prove that I am that patient person who can handle it, who can listen to it. It really comes down to that, because it's never about that out there. It's always about this in here. Come with empty hands unto your God. So don't attempt to define yourself. Well, this is just the way I am. After all, I'm, such and such years old, and I can't change. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. Purification involves the willingness to see it differently, the willingness to change, the willingness to do the mind training, the willingness to study, not just study, but to practice, practice, practice. Not just when I'm with my ACIM people, not just when I'm with my Center of Peace people. No, 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 no. The course teaches you will need this teaching most. You will need your learning most in situations that appear to be unsettling. That's when you need it most. That's when you learn that you are the peace and that it's with you wherever you are. You are that. I am that. I'll continue with this because times are pressing. I don't lose anything by surrendering from my small self, the mini me. I gain by surrendering to the awareness of my capital R, capital S, real self. Not a mini self, but a mighty self. I surrender from holding darn near dead thoughts. I surrender to refreshed and lively ones. I surrender from living an old tired life. I surrender I surrender to a new and vibrant one. Every response I make is determined by what I think I am, and what I want to be must determine every response I make. I can't go around saying, oh, I'm always, I can't help it. I, I'm always doing such and such. I know a woman who says, yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do. I just don't do it. And she's an elder woman. And I said to her the other day, stop complaining. I don't want to hear it. I did. I said, because I've been hearing you say the same thing over and over and over again. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I felt like I was being disrespectful, but I had to respect myself. No, and I couldn't do this because my hand was on the steering wheel when she said it. All right. So the third and final declaration from Dr. Holmes is, I believe in my own soul, my own spirit, and my own destiny, for I understand that my life is God. That's and it's interesting because I've always read what they did was um when this declaration of beliefs became part of the Science of Mind, the Guide for Spiritual Living, the Science of Mind magazine in 1927. That's 1927. They changed the I to we, and including everyone. So it would say, and because we know that the life of all is God. But that to me, and I'm telling you, I just read this last week. My life is God. That's how Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote it. My life is God. We say it. Okay. So with this, what I said, if a quote that I found, if I can't see it another way, then I just need to let it go. I might have heard that here. No, I didn't, because I would have put the person's name who said it. I would have done that, and I didn't. I have no name next to it, so I can't attribute it to anyone in particular. But that's what it comes down to. If I can't see it another way, I need to just. I need to just let it go. The Course says that the shadowy figures from the past are precisely what we must escape. They are not real. So sometimes we think we have to keep trying new ways to correct something or correct someone. We're looking in the wrong place. Ernest Holmes taught that thoughts become things. So our thoughts become the problem. Isn't that what we learned in the course? I am not the okay, just left me. Uh Workbook lesson 5. Um I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm never upset for the reason I think. I say I'm upset because I'm thinking in the first place. If I stop thinking, I'll be all right. We keep looking at the problem to find a new solution. The problem is that the problem is the way we're thinking. Nope, I'm not reading that right. The problem is that the way we're thinking is the problem. That's the problem. The problem is the way we're thinking. I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm upset because I'm thinking in the first place. If I wasn't thinking, this wouldn't be a problem. The Course asks, can it make sense to hold the fixed belief that there is reason to uphold pursuit of what has always failed on grounds that it will suddenly succeed and bring what it has never brought before? Its past has failed. Trying to hold on to all of our old thoughts leave no space for new ones. I don't need to think about giving up being who I've always been. That doesn't serve me because I feel like I'm losing something. But I can give in to being who I want to be. We can surrender from being confused and surrender to being convicted. From confused to convicted. Surrender from complaining about what's wrong with my life, and surrender to contemplating the allness and the goodness of life, the allness and the goodness of God, the allness and the goodness of spirit. I can surrender from being afraid and surrender to being affirmed. Surrender from being scared, surrendering to knowing I'm safe. Surrendering from believing I'm broke and surrendering to the knowing that life is bountiful. Look at all the grass. Look at all the leaves. Look at all the stars. Surrendering to that. I can surrender from thinking I'm pitiful. Oh, what was me? And I can surrender to knowing I'm powerful. I have to be powerful. I am what God is, and God is all power. I am that in form. It's written, all power and glory have been given unto us. It's just a matter of remembering, accepting. Every response we make is determined by what we think we are. When I understand that what I am is God in form, the kingdom is me, the Course teaches. The kingdom is me. I can surrender from focusing on problems, surrender to focusing on prayer, and not petitioning God for something out there to give me this. Joel Goldsmith, I'm telling you, I read this and it did something to me and for me. Joel Goldsmith reminds us that in the Bible is written that Jesus said, it's written, because I don't know if he said it or not, I wasn't there, to take no thought for tomorrow, what you'll eat and what you'll drink and what you'll wear and all that stuff. So if I'm praying for these tangible things, oops, oops, it's written, seek first, the kingdom of God, and all other things will be given unto you. The kingdom of God. That's back to that. Seek first the kingdom of God and its righteousness. We're back to right here. Because if a job comes, if a place to live comes, if a vehicle comes, if the money comes, notice this, it starts here. It's not gonna be because I'm just sitting around and somebody just knocked on my door. Now, granted, you can get a job at the electric company or the gas company, the people who come out and read your meter. But you had some input in that. I saw a sign, and I've said this before, in a shoe store years ago. I must have been a teenager, and it said, "If you want your prayers answered, get off your knees and hustle." I'm not sitting around asking for this, that, and the other. I'm asking to be able to accept. I'm reminding me to accept what is. Let all things be exactly as they are. To accept what is, rather than worrying about something that's going on in my fantasy. How's it say? What do they say? If you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. Surrender from being in misery and surrender to being in meditation. Be still. Simply do this. Be still. Be still and know. Be still. And Lynn reminds us right from the Bible. Thank you, Lynn. Let me see if I can click onto that. Working on it. My computer is doing what it wants today. Lynn took us right to what I was saying and gave us the exact passage. And for some reason, all right, from Matthew 6:31, and why take ye thought for raiment? That's clothing. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith, O ye of little faith, O ye of little faith. Where's your trust? Where's your trust to rely on spirit totally? This is what it's all saying. Rely on spirit totally. You will know the truth. The truth will make you free. Therefore, is written. Thank you, Lynn. Take no thought saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things, do for your heavenly Father knows that you have need of all these things. Seek ye first the kingdom. Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. And then from the course, thank you, Lynn, healed mind from workbook lesson 135. Section 11, verses 1 to 5. A healed mind does not plan. It carries out the plans that it receives through listening to wisdom that is not its own. It waits until it has been taught what should be done and then proceeds to do it. It does not depend upon itself for anything except its adequacy to fulfill the plans assigned to it. We are life. And life is working, moving through us. And it continues, thank you, Lynn. It is secure in certainty. Phenomenal word, certainty. It is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to accomplishment of any goal that serves the greater plan established for the good of everyone. It's all one. So it's, what did the Musketeers say? One for all for one. It's all one. We all win, or nobody wins, which is impossible because it's all God. So we can't lose. We cannot lose. That's in chapter 5, section 4, paragraph 8. We cannot lose. We surrender. I made a choice to surrender from believing that I'm all alone. Oh, that I was mommy's only child, that kind of thing. And through treatment, that is affirmative prayer, through affirmative prayer and meditation and sacred study and journaling, I surrendered to being engaged with God, being engaged with the allness of spirit, the eternal loving kindness of life that always wraps itself in around me, moving through me, moving as me. I don't focus on giving up anything because that feels like lack. The stylistics wrote, you are everything and everything is you. You are spirit, you are life. And lastly, a piece that I wrote, giving all of myself to life, spreading my wings, soaring higher, above and beyond my former self, surrendering from the small self I thought I was, surrendering from the diminished self I thought I was supposed to be. I am being. I am living. Being is living. Being is life. I am life. Discovering I am more than I thought. My thought is more. I surrender to more of me. I surrender to more than me. I am more. I am spirit. I am life. And with that, Lynn, I'm giving you the mic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zulma. And I'm sorry I was on the phone with Wayne. He just called. He is not going